Hey, in today's training, you're going to learn how to adopt a plant-based lifestyle instead of a diet, right? The biggest mistake I see people making, including myself, was looking at plant-based eating as a diet or from that place of diet culture that we've been conditioned to believe. And today, we're unlocking the how to look at it differently. So give me some fire in the chat. Are you ready to unlock a lifestyle over a diet? Drop in the hearts, the hands up, the fire, and let's get started. Welcome to the VegInspired Live. I'm your host, Kathy Davis. I'm a former school teacher turned plant-based lifestyle and mindset coach, founder of VegInspired and the Eat More Plants Academy, and a 3-time plant-based cookbook author. I help busy people transform their plant-based diet from stuck and struggling to an intuitive and easy way of life. I basically help you make plant-based eating your new normal. Hey, over there on Facebook. So excited. Good afternoon to you as well. Now, I've been eating and creating vegan meals for more than 8 years, but over the past 2.5, I've shifted my focus on daily healthy habits. Those daily habits of following a whole food, plant-based, mostly unprocessed way of life. And I experienced tremendous results. Renewed energy, newfound sense of joy, healthier mind and body, and I am dedicated to providing people with the resources to make a similar transformation. And this lifestyle over diet is a key piece, a key change that I focused on in the beginning. Hey, Georgiana, hashtag Team Live. I'm loving it. You guys, if you are Team Live, give me a hashtag Team Live. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. I appreciate you. I am coming to you from Southern Vermont. If you've been following me, you know that I travel the United States full-time in an RV with my husband and our little cat, Eddie. And if you've been following us closely the last few months, you know that we are making our way toward Acadia National Park, which we are so excited about. We've been upping our intentional movement every day so that we can hike and explore another amazing U.S. national park. Now, if you've been around for a while or watched any of my old YouTube videos, you know that I've lost almost 50 pounds. And if you want to hear my full story, you can comment story in the chats right now, and we will tag you in that video after this ends. You know that I adopted a plant-based lifestyle specifically to lose weight. And the question I always get is, how, if you had a weight loss goal, did you make this about lifestyle and not about diet? And if you really start to think about it, we've been conditioned and programmed around diet culture. We talk about good and bad foods. We talk about things we can and can't have. We talk about the shoulds and the should nots and the cheats and the splurges and the measuring and all that other BS that goes with the diet culture. And I had a huge awakening at the beginning of my journey to whole food plant-based eating. I remember we were in the truck driving back from the grocery store with our huge grocery haul of all these whole plant foods, fruits, vegetables, salad ingredients, all these amazing unprocessed foods. And I said to my husband, I'm a little worried about doing this, like committing to this, because we have so many cool places on our trip. And he said some profound words, and he's not listening right now, so it's not like, filling his ego, but he said, what if you would approach this as a lifestyle and not a diet? And from that moment on, everything changed. I want your hands to go up if you're a serial dieter. Are you somebody like me who's tried everything? You've measured, you've counted, you've weighed, you've calculated, you've food tracked, you've done all of it, and you've been super successful until you let your guard down, until you go back to normal after your diet is over. You see, that's the problem with diet culture, is it has an end date in our mind. But when we adopt a lifestyle, it changes our approach. So here are 3 things that I did from day one to ensure that I was focused more on a lifestyle than creating a diet. Number 1, I made a decision. I made a decision to make plant-based eating my day in and day out habit. I entered into this way of eating from vegan food to unprocessed whole foods with a goal to lose weight so that I could be more mobile, so that we could explore these national parks, so that we could do all of the things that are associated with this amazing life that we live. But I had to make the decision to create the healthy habits. I had to focus on each day, every food choice. Does this habit, does this food choice fill the habits and the goals that I want? And so I made a decision from day one that I was going to create a lifestyle that I never needed a diet from, that I was going to normalize healthy eating for myself. And as a serial dieter, I had a lot of work to do, a lot of phrases, a lot of habits, a lot of restriction mindset that I had to work on in the beginning. But it all started with that decision that I was no longer going to let food control me, and that I was going to work to control my relationship with food. That was number one. If you're ready to make that decision, let's do it. Now's your time. Tip number two, I focused every single day on day in and day out habits. Every single day, I asked myself, am I choosing foods that I want to eat for a long term? Am I choosing the foods and making the choices that align with my long term lifestyle goals? Am I adding in? Am I grabbing? Am I prepping? Am I buying the foods day in and day out that align with my goal? And I pivoted all that focus on all the foods, the abundance of foods that I could eat. All of that on the fresh greens, the fruits, the vegetables, the grains, the potatoes, every food that aligned with my goals. I focused intently on that. How could I make this spinach just wow me? What sauce or dressing could I do? How could I make this recipe more colorful, more enjoyable? And I focused all of my attention, all of my energy on what I could eat, the abundance of all the things I was adding to my habits, adding to my meals, eating berries for breakfast, buying the fresh blueberries and the fresh strawberries instead of what I couldn't eat. You see, because that's the other thing. We focus so much on those restrictive habits. What can't I eat? We're going to get into that with tip number three. But when you pivot your focus to all the foods that align with your goals, you pivot your focus to the abundance of all the foods that fit the whole food category. You focus your attention on all the new things you can try. Frozen grapes, potatoes as an afternoon snack, making your own flavorful oil-free hummus, making your own flavorful high herb dressings. When you start to make that focus, when you start to pivot your energy on all of these amazing, abundant food options that you have, you stop looking at what you don't eat. You start looking at all the things you can eat, all the things that you're crowding your plate with to push out the foods that don't align with your goals, the foods that you don't want daily habits around. You see, that's that mindset number one. It's about the daily habits. It's about the daily habits. So number one, we make a decision to change the way we look at food. It's about the daily habits, the foods that we eat day in and day out. Number two, we start to focus on all of the abundance of these amazing whole plant foods that we can eat. And now to number three, we move forward with intention. We plan our meals. We plan the foods that we're going to eat. Now, if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I'm all about the meal plan. If you need help meal planning, comment meal plan in the chat. We'll get you some free done for you meal plans. We'll get you some other resources, but comment meal plan in the chat if that would be something that would really help you. Because that's tip number three. I leveraged the power of meal planning to track those daily habits of food and meals. I meal planned for budget. I meal planned to avoid food waste. I meal planned to avoid those in the moment decisions that might have been unaligned with my goals. I also meal planned so that I knew when I was going to hit up that 5-star amazing vegan restaurant, so that I could sandwich that 5-star vegan restaurant with some amazing whole plant foods. I leveraged the power of meal planning so that I could really, really look at all of the meals that I was eating day in and day out to be aligned with my goal of being a whole food, plant-based, mostly unprocessed eater. And then in that meal plan, I scheduled in those worth it options, those once in a while options that you just know they're going to be part of your lifestyle, but not every day, not as a habit. The vegan key lime cheesecake in Key West, the amazing 3-layer vegan chocolate cake on my birthday once a year, and that 5-star vegan restaurant, or those 5-star vegan restaurants that we pass along our travels. We plan those in so that we can make intention around the unaligned foods that we eat as part of our lifestyle. You see, if you've been in my ecosystem for a long time, in my community, one of our veg-inspired foodies for a long time, you know that at one point it was my goal to be like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, to showcase all the amazing vegan restaurants that we ate on our travels. What happened is I was eating all these foods that were unaligned to my goals all the time. And that caused disorder. It caused unhealthy choices. It caused this weird mental fog. I was just eating too many processed foods. And so now I'm really about showcasing how to make this a lifestyle where we are still eating amazing vegan food on our travels. It's just not a habit. It's just not a daily or even weekly occurrence. It's really about what's worth it, what aligns with our goals, and how to proceed with intention. So if you're watching and you're like, gosh, I need this, I'm going to leave you with an action today. Today's action is to do step number 1. Make a decision. Are you ready to fully commit to embrace plant-based eating as a lifestyle? Are you going to ditch the diet culture? Are you going to show up every day creating habits around those foods that you want to eat that support your goal? If you're all in and ready to commit, comment all in below. If you're ready to commit to making a decision to making plant-based eating your lifestyle, comment all in. Now, if you need some resources, we had meal plan. You can drop meal plan in the chat, meal plan in the comments, and we'll get you all of the meal plan resources we have. But if you're all in, you're ready to adopt the healthy living habits, to normalize the healthy foods, ready to be the person who chooses the apple over the cookie because you are committed to your healthy habits. Now, don't sit there and be like, oh no, she's telling me I can't have a cookie. That's against everything I believe, everything she said. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that you're committing day in and day out to choose that apple. And every once in a while, we're grabbing that cookie. We're whipping up those whole food plant-based cookies. We're swinging by that 5-star vegan restaurant and grabbing a cookie or a scone or a vegan donut. But they're not the daily habits. I'm not daily hitting up the Dunkin' Donuts for some BS vegan food. I am intentionally choosing the once in a while amazing 5-star restaurants that really do make every bite worthwhile. So if you're all in, comment all in. If you're ready to buy and prep and serve up those meals that nourish your body, lead you to achieving your wildest health goals, that's where we are. We're at that decision phase. And I want today, August 9th, 2022, to be your line in the sand, that you are ditching the diet culture and you are stepping into the lifestyle of creating healthy habits. If you need help with that meal plan, comment meal plan and we'll get you all the resources. If you're all into making this a lifestyle over a diet, comment all in. We'll cheer each other on. We'll celebrate as we go. And you can always find all of the tips and resources in the VegInspired Foodies Facebook group, plant-based lifestyle support for women over on Facebook. VegInspired.com/foodies gets you right there. You can join us as well and get all of the behind the scenes. If you're just watching this on YouTube and you want to be in the room, in the resources, that's what we have over in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching today's live show. Next week, we'll be back with more tips to help you make plant-based eating your lifestyle and ditch the diet culture for good. Have a great week. Bye.